Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
I'm back again. But this is it. Doc will be back next week. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. It's been fun. I have had a great time here, and I got another great show today. A couple people I know, and we're going to talk. Last I knew, Doc was in the land of Oktoberfest, Volkswagen Beetles. Yes, Germany. He should be back sometime in the week, so hopefully he's still having a good time. I guess the weather's been awesome over there. So we're going to get right into the show because I got a few announcements to read, and please bear with me. This one is really long. Jeff, slide number 15. Join the excitement at Pearl City Clay House. Third Thursday, Pottery Throwdown. Get ready for a spectacle of skill and creativity as Infinity's Pearl City Clay House presents a fun new experience. Pottery Throwdown, taking place on the third Thursday of each month from June to September. The dynamic event held from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., 6:15 p.m., promises an engaging experience for all, featuring PCCH studio members alongside with artists from the community. Attendees are invited to witness the magic unfold as approximately 10 participants each month take on the challenge of pottery wheel or hand building clay pieces, with a live narrator guiding the audience through the action. Spectators will be treated to an immersive experience, gaining insight into the techniques and artistry behind each creation. We're thrilled to create the showcase for our members and teaching artists to share their amazing skills and creative talents with the community, says Deb Eck, Program Director at Pearl City Clay House. If you haven't had a chance to stop in to the studio yet, we hope you'll see this as your invitation to come visit and experience our beautiful space. There will be a surprise discounts and prizes for audience members each week too. The Pottery Throwdown features a mix of wheel and handheld events with 2 competitions dedicated to each technique. While wheel events will be judged in-house on the technical conditions, the hand building competition will be open to the public. Judging invited attendees to participate in its selecting the winners. This free and open to the public event is an excellent opportunity for community members to learn more about Pearl City Clay House, support local artists, and immerse themselves in the artistic atmosphere of downtown Jamestown. Attendees are encouraged to arrive early and make a night of it by enjoying the festivities before the third Thursday concerts in downtown Jamestown this summer. Pearl City Clay House is located at 220 East 2nd Street, across from the street from their parent organization, Infinity Visual and Performing Arts Incorporated. All proceeds from classes and events at PCCH support youth, music, and arts education programs at the Infinity Center. Don't miss your chance to be part of the excitement of the Pearl City Clay House Pottery Throwdown. Mark your calendars for the 3rd Thursday of every month from June till September, and join us for an unforgettable artistry and creativity. It's located at 220 East 2nd Street, Jamestown. Their number is 716-488-2529, or you can check them out on the internet at www.pearlcityclayhouse.org or info@pearlcityclayhouse.org. Another event, Infinity's Pearl City Clay House location is hosting several classes and workshops in clay, fabric arts, and contemporary crafts during the month of June. A new beginner 4-week pottery wheel class will begin, as well as a variety of clay classes, family experiences, and other contemporary crafts. Walk-ins hours in the Paint Your Own Pottery Studio are available during business hours, including new hours from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. For more information, visit www.pearlcityclayhouse.org and click on the Programming tab. Classes are open to the community members of all ages and abilities. You can contact Stephanie Rogers, Grants and Marketing Coordinator, at 716-450-1474 or Stephanie at infinityperformingarts.org. Now we're going to go to Brockton. In cooperation with the Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth, they go by CCPEG, and the Friends of Chautauqua County Greenways, FCCG, will hold its 3rd public information meeting at 5 p.m. Wednesday, June 12th at the sunny Fredonia College Lodge located at 8067 Route 380 in Brockton. This meeting will provide the public with a preview of the new Chautauqua County Recreation Trails map. This map will be the new one-stop for anyone who wants to crash. Oh, we got a message. This meeting will provide public with a preview of the new Chautauqua County Recreation Trails map. This map will be the new one-stop for anyone who wants to learn about location, tread surfaces, difficulty, and permitted use pertaining to the miles of trails within the county. This map is culmination of a year-long process of collecting data, images, and information that will educate all trail users about the incredible trails that we have throughout Chautauqua County, says Jacob Bodway, trail coordinator for the CCPEG. In addition to unveiling the new countywide map. Each trail group will provide updates on recent grant awards, new projects, and upcoming events. By working as a single unit, we have made tremendous strides in giving pride of place to the amazing recreation opportunities of the county. There has never been a better time for a recreation enthusiast in Chautauqua County than right now. The College Lodge also offers beautiful hiking trails. There will be a short guided hike held at 4 p.m. for anyone who would like to travel early and explore the forest. Refreshments will be provided at the meetings, which is open to the public, and there's no reservations required. About FCCG, the Friends of Chautauqua County Greenways, is housed under CCPEG and is an organization which aim is to collaborate and build on public partnerships, position them to raise the money necessary for program resources to realize the primary objective outlined in the 2012 Greenway Plan. More information about FCCG can be found under Agencies section of choosechq.com. The Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth serves as the main conveyor of economic development partners and resources to advance key projects that achieve economic prosperity in Chautauqua County. It also serves as a catalyst and broker for the resources of advancing economic prosperity efforts and is central coordinating entity for the formation, rendition, development, and attraction of quality jobs and advancements to the quality of life. It is an initiative of the Chautauqua County Regional Economic Department Coordination, CREDC. For more information, visit chqpartnership.org. Before I go on here, this is a live call-in show. I have a message, so you can call in the show at Magic of TV. Jeff, there we are, 716-753-5225, or email us at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. And that's a call-in show. We're also going to be we're live on the internet right now at Chautauqua Sunrise on Facebook. We're going to be on WRFA 1 o'clock on Tuesdays, just to record the voice part of it, and you can't see our smiling faces. So, I got a couple more announcements, Jeff. Elder Abuse Awareness Event, June 14th, 2024, Chautauqua County Courthouse. We wanted to let you know that the Center for Elder Law and Justice, our Elder Abuse Council facilities, Chautauqua County Executive, Chautauqua County Office for Aging Services, and Chautauqua County Adult Protective Services will be holding a press conference and a photo event to bring awareness, understanding to elder abuse and prevention strategies in Chautauqua County. We would like to invite you to attend if you can. The event will be in Mayville in front of Chautauqua County Courthouse steps on June 14th, 2024 at 2 p.m. County Executive P.J. Wendell will give remarks and others crusading to protect our older adults from elder abuse and raise awareness. We'll love to see you there. Jeff, slide number 17. Public invited to NCCF's 38th Annual Meeting and Footprints Aware presentation. The Northern Community Foundation invites the public to the 38th Annual Meetings on Monday, June 24th at 4 p.m. The event will be held at the Bosse's Laguitas Center, located at 9520 Fredonia Stockton Road in Fredonia. Join us as we celebrate our impact, partnerships, community investments, and accomplishments. During the meeting, we will present the George B. Weaver Jr. Footprints Award to David Hazelton in recognition of his outstanding contributions to a word that I can't say, philanthropy and service within our community. Additional elections for the new board and voting members will take place. The meeting will be followed by a catered reception. While RSVPs will be appreciated, they're not required. We encourage the public to attend the meeting and stay forward for an opportunity to mingle and connect with others. To express your interest in attending, please contact the NCCF at 716-366-4892 or via email at nccf@nccfoundation.org. You may also RSVP online at the nccfoundation.org. We have one more, and we'll get this show on the road. Horse-drawn wagon rides, Fluvanna Community Historical Society, starting at the War Vets June 8th, today. It starts at 10 o'clock, so as soon as the show's over, you can go down and take a horse ride, and it's good till from 10 to 3, and June 9th it'll also be 10 to 3. Reserve your spot online, www.fluvannahistory.com. Proudly sponsored in partnership with the LAFF and Lion. I did the rides a few years ago in one of the coldest days of the winter. So this is going to be summer, and it's going to be awesome. They do a really nice job. So right now we're going to go with a public service announcement. I'm hearing speakers, and we'll be right back with the start of the show.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You got that. Only you can prevent wildfires. What happened to forest fires?
I was just going to say, it used to be forest fires.
Must be the forests don't burn anymore.
The forests are wild.
Wild, yeah, true. So I have a good show for you today. Got two people I know. We're going to talk about something coming up in about
2 weeks.
2 weeks that I used to do, but I'm just getting a little out of it now. But so I'm going to introduce my guest, and we're going to be talking about the Ride for Roswell. So I'm going to start with Bryan McCoy. And Bryan, how did you all get started with bicycles and the Ride for Roswell? And
I got started with bicycles a long time ago. When I was young, that's how I got around. I raced for a summer between high school and college, and then got back into it, Ride for Roswell, after I went through a couple of bouts of cancer. So they helped me out, so I'm trying to support them. So you have something
to ride for yourself,
that
cancer.
And multiple people in my family.
Yeah, that's what I started for. And then we also have Galen Zook. Galen's an old timer here on Access Chautauqua. Hi, Galen. So how did you get involved with this Ride for Roswell?
Well, it's your fault.
It's my fault?
It's your fault because...
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry. You bugged me for probably 2 or 3 years to do this ride, and when I finally did it, I just fell in love with it because it's such a great event. Because it's really not just a one-day event. It's between the fundraising, and they do have a little celebration of I forget what they call it.
Celebration of Light.
Celebration of Light.
Yeah, and that's Friday night before the ride, and there's some bands that come in, and there's lots of music, there's lots of activities, there's
Lots
you
of
get
people.
Lots of people. They do a parade, a little parade of all most of the workers from Roswell, and
The Peloton ride.
there's about 250 people that qualify. They ride from Roswell up to UB North, and then ride in front of the whole crowd. And I've been privileged to do that a couple of times, and that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, they raised the amount you have to raise to be able to qualify for that, and I don't raise that much anymore. So it's your fault,
My
Randy.
fault. I'm sorry.
And,
no, I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
So, how many Ride for Roswell's, Galen, have you done?
This will be my 12th.
12th?
Yep.
Brian?
I've done 11.
11. I stopped at 10, but my first Ride for Roswell was before the internet. I picked up a brochure at Roswell Cancer Institute when my sister was going there, and I'd been doing some bike riding, and I thought, oh, this is cool. But of course, they got small rides. They get up to the 62 and a half, and then they have 100. Well, me, I got to try the 62 and a half. I think it's 62 and a half century mile.
64.
64, 65, something.
I started that, and I was happy I survived. But after that, I had a doctor in Jamestown, some clinic that, no, you shouldn't be riding bike. Your blood pressure's high. You're going to die if you ride bike. So I sort of laid off on bike riding for a couple, 3 years, and then I got a different doctor, which no, it's good for you. So I finally got Galen, and we went out there, and that was, I think, the second year of the celebration.
Yeah, and they were bringing in some pretty big names
Yeah.
at that time, because I know, I think the first time I went, they had Leanne Rimes was in.
Second year was Kelly.
They had Kelly Pickler in one year.
Pickler, and they had
And then they had Dave Dravecki, who was a Major League Baseball pitcher that lost his pitching shoulder and arm to cancer. And
there's one more
there was the ice skater guy,
ice skater,
Scott Hamilton.
Scott Hamilton. Yeah,
But they stopped bringing those in because they probably weren't coming in for free, and they were
no, I'm
probably
pretty
having
sure. I always thought, they're probably spending half the money they make, but on the people. But the first year I was there, I just went and rode. I didn't stay all night. I went out and drove out, rode, and came home that day, and I was like, this is cool. But after that, we
started going up Friday night, enjoying the Friday night festivities, and there's a meal there, and we get a hotel like really close to the starting line, so because I wouldn't want to get up that early.
Well, especially if you have a 6 or 6:30 ride, you have to get up there and register. And
we
get
could ride right over to the Ride for Roswell from the motel. It was as close as the parking lot almost, and they got a big parking lot. So, you guys, let's start with the ride. When I first rode the Ride for Roswell, I don't even think we took in $1 million in 2007. Now, what are they taking anymore?
$8 million last year.
$8 million?
Was it that high?
Yeah.
It's just getting crazy, but there's more than a couple riders too. What would you say?
It's close to 8,000
Close
without,
to
without,
8,000 bike
without
riders.
volunteers.
And they're all going every which way. And if you ever done
I
it,
think there's 13 different routes that you can ride.
13. You can do what? 1 mile, 3 miles to.
You can do up. I think the shortest one is 3 miles, which is right around the UB campus. And then there's country rides that go out in the countryside, and then there's one Canadian ride that actually starts at Roswell, goes across the Peace Bridge into Canada, then comes back on the Rainbow Bridge, and then ends at UB, and that's 45 miles.
And about 500 million raindrops.
Yeah, you get pretty wet when you go riding through.
Brian, have you done the Canadian?
I did that once.
Did you do it when it was raining?
It was not raining the day I did it.
Oh, the time I did it,
The first year we just got back in the United States, and by Goat Island, and it let loose and it never quit.
We did have a ride once that we left. They had canceled the 100 mile because of threat of rain. And we got out to the turn for the 45 and the 65, and they told us we couldn't go because of rain, so we ended up doing 30. And we got back, and everybody back at the extra mile club thought we were just leaving, but we were already done with 30 miles. So it was interesting.
Galen told that on us before on a tour of Chautauqua, like, how did that guy, he did 50 or something, got back same time the 25 milers did, but I think he took a wrong turn somewhere, if I remember correct.
Oh,
One year you got back just after the 25 milers, and it was
I
like,
think that's just because I crushed the ride. I was young. I was younger, much younger back then.
but so to me, the start of the ride is awesome. I mean, you're all lined up in the driveway, and what would you figure, 750, 500 for a start?
Yeah, some of the rides, most of the rides, they limit. There's a limit on how many can be in that ride. Well, there was at first. I don't think there is now. But yeah, it was like 750, and basically that was more of a safety issue because it just does get so clogged up at the start. But I haven't seen any limits on it.
I mean, I'd like to get like right up in the front to start. I get out of there, I got adrenaline, and for a while, and then everybody passes me, so I get to meet everybody in the ride as they're going by me. But we don't do like 30 miles, 40 miles without stopping for a break. So.
Oh no.
So what does Roswell do for the ride? Want to talk?
They have about every 10 miles, at least for the shorter rides up to the 64. They'll have areas that you can stop at, and they have all kinds of food there for energy drinks and apples and fruit and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bananas, that sort of thing. So it's well thought out. You need some energy when you're going on those rides.
I definitely found that out. But the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were really good.
And drink water, Randy.
Why drink water? I can bike.
Oh my gosh.
I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah, what we're talking about is the first time we went on the ride together. Randy didn't hydrate properly before riding, and he about fell out.
And I couldn't find the water to fill my water bottle before the ride, so, heck, it's only 10 miles to Clearance Center. I can do it. 8 miles, blah, I'm on the ground. I finally...
Someone else has done that, had that
That's what I was hearing before the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would have done that?
That wasn't on the ride for Roswell, though.
That wasn't on the ride for Roswell, though. That was on the Ragbri. Someone didn't hydrate properly throughout the weekend heading out there, and he got a free ambulance ride to the hospital with an IV in his arm. Thankfully, Bryan was there and flagged down the ambulance for me.
That's good.
Kind of prompted me to just get in the ambulance and get the IV and go to the emergency room, and which
that ride is
I will always be
longer.
grateful to Bryan for that, because
now that ride you're going all the way across Iowa, right?
yeah, that was a little bit bigger and more intense than the ride for Roswell.
So how many miles?
It was 480 some in 7 days.
No wonder you're
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Well, we were about 60 miles into an 85-mile ride on the first day when I kind of fell out.
Oh, geez.
So
Pretty warm out there.
Well, it was the beginning of August.
Oh, geez.
it's
And there's no shade.
They're in the Midwest.
there's no shade. Yeah, there's a lot of cornfields, a lot of soybean fields. So Bryan made it a project to take hey look, corn picture for the day.
That looks like all the other ones.
Pretty much. But anyways, we digress.
Yeah. Ride for Roswell.
Ride for Roswell.
Okay, so Bryan, you've had cancer, so you've been to the hospital, I think you said. And,
Too many times, but yes.
How about you, Galen?
I have not had cancer, but recently my sister, but she did not have to go to Roswell. My sister had discovered that she had colon cancer, and they caught it super early through colonoscopy, which also I want to make a plug for those, because if it wasn't for a colonoscopy, they may not. I still
Probably don't have any pain. You probably don't even know it.
Well, when I had mine done, they found a very large mass, and then when we got the CAT scan done, it showed that part of my colon was all folded up, and so I'm literally, when I could actually have my faculties after waking up after the colonoscopy, the doctor said, this is what's going on. I couldn't even get the probe past a certain point. He says, we're going to schedule you for surgery because there's a mass in there that has to come out. And about 3 weeks later, I was in surgery. So my plug for if you're due for it, it's kind of a pain. It's kind of annoying, but you never know what they're going to find.
And they don't hurt.
They don't hurt.
It's just inconvenient.
Drinking before I was.
Yeah, it's the preparation is really kind of tedious, and
Forgot what it was, like 4 Snapples with the.
well, they give you you have to go. They used to give you all this stuff, but now you have to go to the drugstore and buy. I bought some some Miralax.
Miralax.
And mix that with some Propel, and they give you a couple pills, and it just cleans your system out so that they can see what's in there. And they've now changed a few things. It used to be 50 when you started getting them. Now it's 45. And I will get a colonoscopy for every year for a couple years to make sure that nothing else is. Same with my sister. They will give us colonoscopies about every couple years just to make sure that everything's still good.
Colonoscopy, it's nothing. I mean, they knock you out. Next thing you know, you're heading back to your room. You never even feel like you had it.
Yep.
It's just drinking the.
It's just the prep time.
The preparation is.
But anyways, I'm kind of thinking, because the doctor was like, the mass was so big and my intestine was so full. He was actually surprised that I was even getting anything through my system. And I fully count a lot of that to bike riding. Mm-hmm. And you had mentioned high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. And the doctor's like, oh, but don't bike. That's a bunch of horse hockey.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Because I attest, because I'm diabetic. It helps my diabetes for sure, bike riding. And who knows what other, it helped keep my blood pressure down, because I got high blood pressure also, which a lot of times goes hand in hand with diabetes. And bike riding has made a huge difference in my life and health-wise. Because even after my surgery, I had to be off the bike for 6 weeks, and I was feeling bleh, but
yeah.
Once I got back on the bike, I started feeling better, and I'm feeling a lot better now after the surgery than I did before, because my body's able now to cleanse everything out in a timely manner.
One thing about biking around here, we got winter, but I don't think it stops a lot of bikers, does it?
There's no hills either.
You go out with Bob with them?
No.
In the winter?
No.
They're out like every day.
I don't do winter outside.
I wouldn't either.
Both of us have smart trainers that we use a training platform to stay in shape over the winter, and it works really well. So
you guys ride just regular now? What kind of bikes you guys ride for the Roswell? I've seen sit-down bikes.
We can't talk because we're
He has a track. I have a Specialized. We're not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
No. We both have road bikes.
I'm in the light. He's in the dark.
But I've seen what do you call this? Like you sitting down like a go-kart kind of
Recumbent.
Recumbent.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them. I've seen what do they call them?
Penny farthing.
Pennies,
Yeah, we
and
saw
all. It's
one
like,
guy.
how in the heck?
There's a guy that does 64 miles on the penny farthing.
I seen, the first time I really seen a ride with that, it was in Westfield, and they were doing Erie to Allegheny or something. I think they were doing 100-mile, no, to Buffalo. They were doing a 100-mile ride on these, and there was a lot of them, and it was hot, and it's like, I don't know how to ride one in the first place,
I
but
don't know how you get on and off those things safely. Too bad Bob Dahl wasn't here because he has one.
Yeah.
He could tell us about that stuff. But
I don't know. Probably once you're going, you're okay, but to stop and start, it's like,
yeah, because there's no brakes.
Stopping and getting off is interesting.
no brakes either?
No.
There's no gears, no brakes. It's direct drive.
Yep.
So going downhill, you have to hope your feet don't slip off the pedals.
Yeah. That's sort of scary.
Yeah.
So one thing I noticed, I haven't seen it in a ride for Roswell with dogs. I saw it in an MS ride where we're coming on a really busy highway, and all of a sudden some big black lab comes running out in front of the crowd, and everybody's going every which way. Nobody got run over, but it was like, most people tied their dogs up compared to when we were kids. And
Well, along the ride for Roswell route, it's marshaled, so there's people,
Yeah.
and it's generally pretty good, and the people are pretty good. They'll sit out there with water, so you can stop by and get water on the way. And
that was just before
There's-
I dehydrated.
there's-
There was somebody just up the road with
there's
water.
those people that might have a hose that you can ride under if it's really hot to cool off. So it's pretty good.
So, Ride for Roswell, you guys usually find out, what is it, December when they start putting the rides up? January?
Well, usually registration usually opens. I think it's right near the end of January or the beginning of February. So they give you a good 6 months to raise money, about 5.5 months to raise money. And I think they've done really well with Facebook and some of the other platforms out there to get their message out.
As they say, the first time I did it, there wasn't all that internet stuff.
No.
I mean, it was 07, but it wasn't nothing
it's-
like it is today.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw a brochure at the hospital, I grabbed it, and that's how I did mine.
well, I know even for me with the internet and stuff, I still got a lot of donations word of mouth, just going out and asking people. And I print up some business cards every year and hand out business cards, and
So I rode for my sister Lori.
I remember that she was up there. I remember that.
She was handicapped and she got breast cancer, and WCA wanted to take her breast off. And she went to Roswell. They'd done a biopsy and they said no. So she went quite a few years, and then it came back to haunt her. But the handicapped people would get money, and every so often people would take them to Florida to Disneyland and stuff, or Disney World, and I noticed she hadn't done anything in a long time, and I figured she had to have a lot of money. So my idea was to have somebody bring her out for the ride, pay them to bring her out, instead of going to Florida. And so they had a volunteer, and she brought her out the night before, and we got to the celebration ride, and she's just excited as all get out. And
Yeah, I remember how excited. I remember seeing
she
her.
was just, every time I would do the ride, we would take Galen down to Roswell to do the Peloton, and I'd call her, I'm at your hospital, and just the excitement. But towards the end, the cancer came back, and
Yeah.
she went to Roswell, and they checked her, and they removed both breasts, but at the time they didn't realize her whole body was just full.
Yeah.
So she ended up in a sad way of passing away.
Well, speaking of the Peloton, at the beginning, it starts at Roswell, and one thing, and it makes me tear up sometimes, even just talking about it, is while you're there getting ready to line up, they give you a card, and it's got a patient's name on the card that's actually in the hospital and what cancer they have. So we line up on, I forget what the name of the street is, but it's the one right out that goes right Carlton Street. And you can look up in the windows, and they move all these patients to the windows as close as they can, and then you do a moment of silence, and you lift the card up to the hospital, and it's just like, it's super emotional, and it's just like, And I think that's one of my attractions to doing the Peloton, was just to be able to stand there and show the support to the patients in the hospital. And it's really cool. It was really it's just a really cool moment.
Oh, definitely. Bryan, have you done the Peloton?
I have not. I have not
You
done
have
the
not.
Peloton.
Yeah, it's quite a fundraiser.
I've been there on the other end when they arrive,
Yeah.
but not at the beginning.
First year I went, they arrived inside the stadium. First 2 years,
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
they had that big
Yeah, they quit
parade.
doing
I
the-
think you're at the Olympics or something with
Yeah.
a parade coming in. And then they got out of the stadium. I'm pretty sure they were paying a big buck to...
Well, it wasn't
Right, the
it wasn't
stadium.
the stadium. It was the stage, and moving the stage and all that stuff. Because I had asked someone about that, and it did cost some money because they had to rent the stage.
It's a big stage.
Yeah.
They still use that, though, don't they?
No, they use a very much smaller stage,
Okay.
and I didn't like it kind of the way they did it last year. It was okay for like the start in the night before, but the finish, there was just too many people, and they used about half the space that they did previously.
Wow.
And it was in a different spot. It was on the north side of the campus, vice right by the stadium. And coming in, it was just utter chaos. There was just people everywhere. But anyways,
I got one more question. The money they raise, what's it go for? I mean, if they raise $8 million, how much do they actually get of that?
I believe it all goes to research.
But
Yeah.
don't they get matching
Times 23 this year.
wow.
23 times that from different organizations? It goes for research, correct?
Research, patient care.
So we research, they're trying to research how to get rid of it, but have they ever really figured out what's causing it? I mean, when we were younger, it was always, oh, you smoke cigarettes, that's why you got cancer. But now it's like everybody.
Yeah.
They just haven't figured out if it's something in the food.
Well, the problem is they figure something out, and then something new pops up, or it morphs into something different. So it's not that they're not making progress;
It's just it keeps switching.
it just keeps new cancers develop all the time, and it's just an ongoing process. And it's like most diseases. What's the root cause of it? They don't know.
Yeah. It's one of them really weird ones.
Some diseases are genetic, and it's just like it's passed on through.
It just seems like it's gotten worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like when you guys are here training and stuff, you're riding with bike teams.
Yep.
I see you all over. I've seen you go by when I was working. I'd be going up the road and I'd pass you and you'd pass me. I'd pass you all the way up to like Jamestown. So originally your team was called
Hollyloft. ski
Holly
and
Lofts?
Yep.
and they were in a bike shop in town,
Yep.
Now,
And,
now it's Upstate Cycles,
upstate. And where are they located?
located in Lakewood,
Right by Jamestown Mattress.
right by Jamestown Mattress
Okay.
in the little plaza there.
Now who started that?
Eric Chapman
Eric. And was he
used
a
to work,
salesman or was
used
he
to work for Hollyloft,
Did he work
repairing
on
bikes.
bikes?
He worked in the bike
Repairing?
area. Yep, for over 20 years.
Wow, that's a lot of bikes.
Yeah, he's good. Keeps all of our bikes working.
So when you guys are biking locally now, when do you usually bike every day, or do you have certain days of the week you go?
Well, let's give a plug for the Tuesday night rides.
Okay.
There are different levels of groups. Some go by letters. Some have taken and named their groups.
They're all set up basically based on speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your average speed for whatever is generally how the groups.
So where would I be in like the Z
You'd
riders?
probably be good to ride with the C minus in Jeff's group.
I've only got to ride once, and it was being less. And
Yeah, well, Les used to lead the D group, but there's not
Not many anymore.
there's not enough. So he'll ride with the C minus, and the C minus, say 10 to 12 miles an hour, average. A lot of great people. I rode with their group a couple weeks ago because I was just still making sure that my my muscles and stuff were healed enough from my surgery to handle it. So, but a lot of great people in that. A lot of great people in the club. Bryan and I both ride. We ride in the B- group, and we usually do about 15,
16,
16 miles an hour somewhere.
For
And then
30, for 30 miles.
Yeah. And then there's the next group up. They'll do considerably faster, and they'll climb a lot more hills. And then you got the really fast kids that they'll go out and do a 50-mile ride in the time it takes us to do a 30-mile ride.
Yeah, really.
You know,
That's crazy.
but that's all through Upstate Cycles, and that's every Tuesday night.
Okay.
And the ride leaders will post. There's a Team Holly Loft page, and there's the Upstate Cycles. Some people still have the Holly Loft, but haven't gotten this, so they'll post in both things. Where we're going to start. We used to always start everyone used to meet at Holly Loft and go there and end there. But when Les retired and closed the business down, we started doing remote starts because typically a lot of the groups will start at the hotel in Celeron because there's a lot of room there. There's good space there. The hotel is okay with it. They've talked to.
Or in the park.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys got a little crazy back in the COVID times. You kept riding, but you did it a lot different. You didn't take.
Well, that's where
One huge
that's
group.
where the remote starts.
Is that
started.
where that became?
Yeah.
Everybody left from a different place, so we weren't together.
Yeah.
That's good. 'Cause
Yeah. And
it's good to see stuff that kept going during the COVID times. 'Cause
yeah. And we just kept it going that way. But majority of the time, probably two or three. I mean, most of the groups start at Celeron now.
It's nice and flat. You could go down and get on
Yeah,
the trail.
and then if you want to do a remote start, like the C group, they will do. They go out once. There's certain rides that they do every year. They'll go meet out at Cockaigne and do a loop around Ellington and out that way. A popular one is meeting at Pendergrass Point and starting there and ride out into the countryside out Mayville. So that's a pretty popular one.
Or leave
who's
from the
doing,
Frewsburg area and right out to Onaville and back.
Yeah.
Well, that's what got me interested in biking. People are doing Erie to Allegheny State Park.
That's
It's
crazy.
like, yeah, it's cool, But I mean, that was I think 100. But what was I gonna ask? Oh, on Thursday nights, some of you guys do a ride too, don't you?
We ride from Southern Tier Brewery on Thursday nights,
Same guys,
6 o'clock. It's much smaller.
smaller.
It's a much smaller group, and usually it's a mixture of people rather than groups of the same. So you could end up with people that are usually riding in the A group and people that are riding the C group riding. So it's more of a casual ride just to get a ride in.
Nice.
And then typically we'll meet after that ride and grab the burger of the week or burger of the month, and have a beer or two if you drink.
Just get to know each other and have fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
Everybody works
I mean
most of it.
it is a social group.
Yeah.
And there's also a Saturday ride
Well, there's a Saturday ride.
that leaves from Ryder Cup.
Yeah, that's
Lake
Down
usually
in Lakewood on the main road there.
that's usually mostly. It's mostly the fast kids that do
That's
that.
a little
though.
more serious.
I mean, it would be nice to get some other groups, but no one seems 9 o'clock at Saturday morning is not my favorite time in the world to ride bike.
I can remember I started riding bike, and then I went up to Westfield and rode to Ripley and back. But I decided I'm going to do the MS ride around the lake. So a few days earlier, I take off with just one little bottle of water. I was only going to go to Bemis. I get around the lake. I get halfway around. My legs are like that. And I'm like, there's nobody to give me a ride home. I got to make it back to DeWittville. And I made it and did the ride, the MS ride a few days later, which was around the lake, but they had rest stops at Long Point and I think the Lakewood Rod and Gun and Hogan's Hut, When I got back to the park, and they had, they always give me a sit down, something to eat.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think Chris was on one side of the table. He came to see me back. I'm on the other. He got up, and the table just, the way the tables are, they just flipped on me.
Yeah,
They're doing everything.
Unfortunately, I don't know why, but they still have the MS rides, they still have the Tour de Cure, but they don't have anything real local anymore. You have to go to either, actually today is the Tour de Cure, which I normally do, but I just didn't want to go all the way to Canandaigua to do it.
Oh, jeez. See, the MS ride,
Well, the MS ride now is actually out where my niece used to live near Medina.
I did the MS ride from Blaisdell, Woodlawn Park, to Dunkirk. We spent the night, and then we went back the next day. Well, riding to Dunkirk was just fighting the wind the whole way. I cut my time on an hour going back, but I signed up the next year. They were going to have it again, and then they said, "Oh, we're not having it here. We're having it out past Darien Lake or Finger Lakes because
Yeah.
the Indians were at war with New York State, and they didn't want us going through the Indian land."
gotcha.
I was like, we had no trouble going through there the year before. It was beautiful. And then they stayed out that way. And
Yeah. So unfortunately, they don't have those fundraising rides very local because Tour de Cure, when I first started doing that, was in Niagara Falls, which, hey, I'm good with that.
oh, yeah.
And then a couple years ago, it was moved out to Rochester because my guess is they weren't making enough by all these little rides. It was so they started combining them, but I don't think that worked either because I don't think their participation is real high.
Yeah, but when I got that thing, they can't go this year because the Indians are at war with the New York State. Come on. That ain't that bad.
But anyways,
So, we got about 7 minutes. What would you guys like to talk to about the Ride for Roswell experiences? Something crazy that's happened or something fun? I mean,
Talk about the one year where it had rained a little bit the day before
Oh,
or
yeah.
that morning. We had 16 people in our group, all from Hollyloft, and we were doing a 64-mile ride. We had 20 flats.
at least, if not more. There was something like throughout the whole ride. I heard there was close to 1,000 flats through all the groups.
because of the
So you're talking
road
people had
condition?
multiple flats.
Yeah, what had happened was because of the rain, the road was wet,
Oh, okay.
and the little stones would stick to your tire,
Oh, jeez.
and then it would just work its way into the tire, and you'd end up with a flat. I think Tom Schmidt had 5,
Yeah.
Oh,
and 1 within the first mile. So,
crazy. That was when you did 64?
I think that's the last time I did a 65. Yeah.
'Cause
I
the
think
first,
Dylan was with us that day.
he might have been.
first year we
Yeah.
did the
So that was about 5 years ago.
First year
At
we
least,
did the
yeah.
Canadian run, everybody started at the same time, and we got to the Peace Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
It was backed up
It was
almost.
backed up crazy.
One lane all the way across. I mean, it was fun, but
Well, they do the Canadian ride different now. To start, they have different times.
that's what they had the last time, like
Yeah, they
200
have
people
different.
and-
So it's stretched out over a couple hours, so that
They
you
try
get
and
it.
meter
You
it.
don't get caught waiting in a huge line.
Because when I went with Dak and the Canadian, there was a terrible delay. Well, the people, once they got to Canada, figured they were already certified to go into Canada. So they just kept going, and they had to round them all up and get it back to customs. And
Yeah, because they actually had to check even though we sent
you
our
just had a
information
little
up.
sticker and a thing on your bike, and
Yeah.
but they just thought they could just keep going and not have to stop. And I guess they were rounding them up there, and it took forever. And all we heard was, "I want to ride my bicycle." Every time the next group went, it was like, oh, standing there straddling your bike. When are we gonna go? But somehow I got back.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, it was great until you got into the States, and then you got back towards.
Grand Island Bridge.
Yeah, that's when
We get
for
on
me
the-
that's
on the
when
bike paths.
that's when the rain hit, and yeah, the bike paths and the last 4 or 5 miles coming back into Roswell. There's just, you got back when all the other rides, and it was just mass people everywhere.
And then some idiot sat in a bus stop thing waiting for you guys to go down and get the car.
Oh, yeah.
The bus would only hold 3 bikes, so I told Galen and Jeff to go down to Roswell and get the car. And
We actually rode the year we did it. We rode back.
Really? I was so soaked, and I sat in that thing. Finally, the bus comes back, and the lady goes, "Do you want to sit on my bus?" She had one of the dummy lights on. She was waiting for help. So finally, I got out of the rain and sat on there until I saw these two come back. They come back all dry, you know. They'd went in Roswell and changed, and I went all the way home. But, so what else?
So the story on my helmet.
Oh, your helmet.
There is a story why I wear this mohawk. Is the first year I did the ride, I just went up, I did it, no big deal. The second year, one of my good friends, her daughter, wanted to dye my beard pink. So I said, okay. And then I had another friend who said, well, why don't you put a mohawk on your helmet? I'm like, okay. So I went up, did the ride, tore the mohawk off my helmet. Same thing next year. Dyed the beard a certain color, put the right color on there, tore it off. The third year, I decided, let me just leave the mohawk on there for a few days, see what people think. And people just loved it. They thought it was cool.
They stand out in a crowd like a mile away.
Yeah.
So you always know where Galen's at.
What's that?
You always know where Galen is.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's either Galen or a Big Bird.
It's just stuck, and it hasn't been off since.
I can remember your one friend that had the restaurant, and I can't think of her name right now. We went to her restaurant that one day. It's by
Molly.
You're right.
She wanted to ride with it because people would be able to see her if they knew she was with the guy with the Mohican.
Yeah.
So she,
Yeah. Unfortunately, COVID got her business
yeah.
because we went up last year and to have lunch there, and we got there and it was closed.
That's sad.
So I texted her and she said, "Yep, COVID got me."
It's too bad. So I never got my meatloaf dinner. Picked on
Yeah,
that poor girl so bad.
She made some awesome ribs. Let me tell you.
So we got just a little over a minute and a half. Bryan, what would you like to say? How about fundraising? Can you go online and donate?
There's all kinds of different ways to fundraise.
If you go on the Roswell site, there's a way, correct?
You have a web page that you set up for fundraising, and you can send emails out. You can go door to door. You can basically do whatever you want. But there's methods on the website that help you out. There's documents and papers and people there that can help you with fundraising, with tips on how to do it.
And if you went on their website now and typed in Bryan and then McCoy, it'll usually bring up a group with their name in it.
Yep, and we're all
you can
part of
click on there
team.
and
We're all
donate.
part of Team Upstate Cycles, so you can search that way and look for us and go in and donate directly.
I'll tell you what, you guys, I'm not sure how it's going this year, but with Holly left, you guys raised a lot of money for a team. You were right up there in the top.
We were actually in the top 15 the last couple of years
Awesome.
for teams, which is pretty good for a small
Yeah.
Yeah,
town.
we're kind of down this year. I
Still
don't even
got a
think
lot
we
of
got
time.
10,000
Yeah,
yet
2
this
weeks.
year.
After they watch the show today, you'll hopefully get donations. So we got only like 22 seconds. Anybody want to
Yeah.
say anything at
Yeah,
the end?
the website would be www.rideforroswell.org, and then there's a donate button. You click on that, and then it'll bring up the search engine. You
Okay.
just type in a name there.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Hopefully we got some of the ride out, so you can. And good luck to you. I'll be thinking about you. Don't worry. I'll be
No
thinking the
crashies,
whole
no
day.
flatties.
I'll be thinking all day long. I wish I was there, but I'm getting old. So I want to thank Jeff at Controls, Chris in the room, and Justin over here with a sore foot. He's been hurting pretty bad all week. He overdid it. So, Doc, I'll see you next week. I think I'll take a week off. No. So, here we go.